In this video, the auditor is following an audit trail to verify that the way that product is identified in production. Watch the video to determine if the auditor uses effective auditing techniques.
So Brett, what requirements does the customer have for identification and traceability?
Well, when the pallet's full, the system will release a customer label which we'll put in there, and we'll also put a yellow label on so we can book it into our system. Okay.
So I understand from a previous process that I've audited that we're having complaints from the customer about labelling, and I noticed that we've got a lot of labels on that stillage there.
Those are from the customer. Unfortunately, we have no control over those.
Right.
So they apply them, so we can't stop it.
So it's come in with those labels already
come in
on.
like that,
Right, okay then. Right, thank you for your time.
No problem.
I'll just make a note of that.
How helpful I've been.
In this video, the auditor is following an audit trail based on the review of customer complaint data, which identified several customer complaints have been received because of product labelling issues. The auditee stated this was caused by stillages returned by the customer having old labels still affixed, and there was nothing they could do related to this. This is not an acceptable excuse. If this is causing an issue, the organisation should communicate with the customer, establish responsibilities for the removal of any unwanted labels, which could be, for example, when stillages are returned to the organisation, that they should be doing a check for the condition of the stillages, but also the presence of any old labels. And this then could result in those stillages with old labels being put into a hold area waiting for a decision as to what to do from the customer. There are several requirements in IATF 16949 that relate to this. The first one is 5.3.1, which requires clear responsibilities of people's roles, responsibilities and authorities in communicating with customers. The second requirement is actually an ISO 9001 requirement, which is about communication, and that covers external but also internal communication. IATF requirement 8.5.3 talks about how an organisation should manage and control property that is owned by the customer or any external providers. And then finally, requirement 8.5.2 talks about product identification and traceability. The key thing an auditor should verify is that the organisation understands customer requirements related to identification, traceability, packaging and labelling requirements, and communicate these requirements to the shop floor in very clear work instructions. Let's summarise the key learning points. An auditor, in preparation for any audit, should review external and internal performance data, which could include customer complaints, and then use this data to follow audit trails within the relevant quality management system processes. An auditor should ensure the organisation understands customer requirements related to identification, traceability, packaging and labelling requirements, and be able to communicate these requirements to the shop floor in work instructions. An auditor should verify the organisation's control over any customer-owned property, which could include tools, stillages and measuring equipment. And if any issues are found, there should be a clear process of how they deal with that within their quality management system.